Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, August 26th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right here, you'll notice here that we have this narrow range that we continue to talk about here. This is the one we've talked about beginning when it was a 5-day, 6-day, 7-day, all the way up now. You can see even up to a 13-day narrow range here with a breakout that has occurred. It started with a failed new low, midpoint retest, continuation to the upside, a breakout through the 3400s. Right now, we have about 129 points of range in this current move, kind of from this low higher, and we have about 187 points of range that is likely to be seen, and then some perhaps, but at least to get to that dot, 187 points from the 43s here, and from the 29s, that's basically 57 points. 57 from 43 is basically 3,500. So 3,500, a great upside target here for this one. Especially any pullback could still be a great buying opportunity. When you get this first thrust to the upside and you break through the breakout point here, any pullback as deep as that breakout point could still be a nice finish into 3,500 and perhaps higher. So 3,500 is the measurement here from this ADR measurement. And if we look at the low of the month here and see how this thing has been trending higher all of August, we know that from this low of the month we have the potential to see the high probability monthly target based on PivotBoss ADR 3520. That's 3520, which could still be hit ahead, and an average month's range would take you all the way to just beyond 3,600 at 3,608s. So right now, still much more upside that could be seen by the end of the month next Monday, and any pullback could still be a great buying opportunity into 3,500 to at least 3,520 ahead. Okay, let's take a look now at the NQ. The NQ has gotten a steady breakout to the upside here. We had the failed new low that occurred right here, that failed new low. Nice retest entry here off the 11.4s and a big continuation to the upside here. That all started with this breakout as well. We had this breakout from this narrow range, which we talked about at the time. So very nice continuations here to the upside. This one is already through the 11.723, which was the 50% expansion target from the key range. The next upside target would be 12.388 quarter. 12.388 quarter, basically 12.4. So even right now with how price has pushed higher here, see how this failed new low off the 8 period, this dip below the 8 period, this little failed low, and then the retest. Those led to the last moves here. The 8 period down below here is around 11,470, 11,500. It's 11,517. So we could drop into 11.5 and still be a nice continuation into this target above, because we have the 12,388s that's still on board. That's half of the range here still left after breaking through the top of this key range. So again, we could drop into about 11.5 and still be a great continuation to the upside to 12K even, and then down the road toward 12.4. So big time strength here ahead for this one until something changes. Alright, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil here had a breakout to the upside in the previous session. This breakout broke through 3-day highs here and had a stop run day through 3-day highs, getting a high of 43.57. That was just 5 ticks beyond the key range high before it pulled back and kind of held into the close. Right now, perhaps a potential extreme reversal that could be in play after this big day up and then sitting at resistance. Perhaps we pull back down. One thing to keep in mind right now is that if you have this 43 that holds right here, that's the breakout point. This is really the most, this is the first time we've closed above 43 in a very long time. So if price can hold 43, right now trading 43.10, if it can hold 43s on a pullback here today, or perhaps a rejection below it, 42.94 is yesterday's midpoint. If it can hold that zone, perhaps it can take off and break through 43.52. Remember, we have a narrow range here on a multi week basis. 3 weeks, 15-day range basis, look right here, is 13 days and it's compressed. We have some big time movement that could be ahead, but we need to break free from this range, and that means breaking through 43.50 or breaking down below the 41s even. So right now outside of that range, and we're still inside technically speaking, but keep an eye on 43 early in the day. Alright, let's take a look now at gold futures. With gold over here, you'll notice that this one has mostly sat around the 1920s for a week long now. It hit 1928 several days and held, then it broke down to 1920 and bounced, and 1928 held, and down to 20, and now holding 20 here today with a low of 1918.10. So right now we are currently seeing bulls defend the zone of support at 1920, but we're not really seeing them get paid right now. As a matter of fact, we saw a major rejection here, which was a lower high. We saw a failed new high here, which dropped it down, and it appears very soon that the downside stops may get run. If the downside stops get run, then we have a likely shot at breaking that key range low and then seeing a potential trap between 1830 and 1870. That trap right there could lead to a great bounce back to 1981.70 with a shot to go much, much higher down the road. Remember, this market remains super, super hot right now until market structure breaks, and market structure will break upon a failure to hold 1830 for any period of time. So that right now, as long as price remains above 1830, overall this thing has more upside, and we have key range targets that can take us up to 22 and 2300 down the road. So being able to come down here and trap below 1875 could provide a great entry for a long-term move down the road toward 22 and 2300. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.